Here we go.
Yep.
Good morning. How are you today, Dr. Brian?
Great. How are you this morning,
Very
Cheryl?
good. Good to see you.
So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the JQ Edge and JQ Live. I'm Dr. Brian. This is our founder and visionary, Cheryl Lynn. And this morning, we thought we'd do Real Life Friday, which is an amazing concept that we both thought of late last night, as sometimes in life, things spiral. So would we both agree, or would you agree? We had a great morning. We met two great new partners
Yesterday.
We booked a space for our JQ 60 Voices. We met two more amazing connections. And then for whatever reason, tech wasn't working. Connections weren't working. We weren't communicating well. You and I weren't communicating well. And I know for me, my biggest headache in tech is when a simple thing doesn't work. And then it's like, can't get answers. And I feel like the world is going to stop. And it's just one thing. It's like, couldn't access part of our database. It's not earth crushing, but it gets frustrating. And so I wonder if you would share. I know we were both getting on each other's nerves, and that happens in the workplace with bosses and team members. So if you would just share a couple things that touched a nerve, and then, you know what? Yes, go ahead, jump in. Let's start with that.
Yeah. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the check-in at JQ Edge Live. And what's really amazing, what Dr. Brian just said, is we get to do this work every single day. And both of us being in emotional mastery or emotional intelligence work for probably our whole lives, right? Looking and searching and, because we learn or we teach what we want to learn the most. And so handling and being in emotions is something that we do. So yeah, yesterday was crazy. And also self-sabotage is real. And I'll just say what happened for me. I just got very anxious and I shouted. Did I shout? I feel like I shouted, but there was so much frustration and anger for me, for the team, at the team, with the team, and communication was lousy. And so I pulled the card this morning, shame, and I'm going to do it at Shared Joy. But what I just want to say about that is Carl Jung back in this day says the process of wholeness or growth is messy and it's upside down. And we want to make things break before they get really good. So what is that, Dr. Brown?
Say that last part again.
Why do we want to break things before we break through? Why do we want to quit before we succeed? Why do we make sure it's really hard before it's easy?
So self-sabotage literally is a habit that emotions get hardwired, where soon as we individually have our different breaking points or pressure points, it feels like more than a weight. It is a breaking point, and it's hard to pivot from that breaking point. So sometimes it's easier to create the mess, or I'll say for me, have a temper tantrum. I've done that before. And then go back, okay, apologize. And I used to have outbursts consistently. And I know for me, to avoid those outbursts and blowing it, I turn to food. And I will, next week, I've got to find the picture on an old laptop of me post my first divorce. I'm happily married now, remarried now. But I ballooned up to 380 pounds and was wondering, Cheryl, why weren't leaders buying leadership training from me? And one of my good friends said, hey, Brian, at 380 pounds, it might be hard to sell motivation and commitment. So you might want to lose some weight. And so I did, and then sabotaged again. So I'll confess, I had bariatric weight loss surgery, and that was the tipping point for me, not going back. So I've kept 180 pounds off for 9 years. So yesterday, when my boss was
I have a question about that.
Sure.
So did some of that activity that, for whatever reason, you had surgery, how did that impact your life? Like, how did your emotions create your current situation?
It was, when you go through the weight loss surgery, the doctors tell you, or your surgeon tells you, the nutritionist tells you, and you don't believe it till you experience it. It's like 99.9% of patients wake up from the surgery and you're energized and your attitude is different and your whole body chemistry changes because of that surgery. But then learning how to eat again. I mean,
I'm talking about how decisions from emotional eating have impacted financially and
so I don't overdo, so I don't overeat. I'm more than mindful. I'm very conscious of what I choose, but I also carry that over. I don't overspend. I always look for the deal. If I see something I want, my wife and I create, it sounds silly, a separate savings account, and we just start putting money in that. And surprisingly, over time, it builds up, and then we can get what we want. But it taught my brain to think better choices, not think about your emotions, but stop trying to suppress them, because that's what I was
my
doing.
question is, today, when you are having emotion, it impacts your day. Like,
Right.
I'm asking you to be real. Like, what's one emotion that you currently have that isn't so, serving for real?
Anger.
Anger.
Comes when I open up my new laptop. I try to use a program, and I know a lot of people will
listen to you.
Go to YouTube, watch a video. I just paid money for an expensive laptop. I don't want to go to YouTube.
So,
I don't want to
let
take
me ask you a question. Is the anger from what? What's besides what's happening for real?
It's an outside event that I'm taking personally. And my brain says, you're an idiot. Why can't you solve this? Why isn't it working? You need to progress.
So the next question is, how long does the anger normally before JQ? How does it impact the rest of the day? Do you want to do you quit? Do you leave? What happens?
I'll take a break, but I don't quit. I would do something unhealthy to soothe it before, but eat.
Okay.
Or pound.
Okay.
Or even yell.
Good.
However, now I've learned I can walk outside when nobody's around and get it out of my system.
So let's
do something healthy.
Perfect. Thank you for being honest, because what we were laughing that today we were saying, what's going to happen a year from now when you and I look back at this podcast, and I probably, we're just beginning ourselves putting the JQ intelligence work together. Deep breath. Yeah.
I'll share with you in a minute. My colleague here will share what we're going to laugh at.
Yes.
We'll talk about going up the stairs if you don't mind.
Yes, I will share.
So let's do share of joy.
I did stomp my way through the day yesterday, all day long.
Can I say clippity clop?
Yes, you can say
no, it was stomping.
Yeah, I really think that we could talk more honest on this conversation, because everybody's going through it. Like, you're getting ready for work, or your kids are maybe running around in the background. You're making your to-do list, you're checking it twice, you're doing all the things. And so what we want to just share with you today is that get real with yourself. Like, just be you and have the emotions. And so I pulled out of the professional deck card today, the shame card, because that's how I woke up feeling. Even though I did 5 chairs of joy yesterday, and even though I woke up this morning shaking my head in disbelief, like, what did I do and why did I do that? So many things were going well, and then I just had to hit a wall. So yeah, there was still leftover shame. And I also know at this point, with Joy Intelligence and having the JQ Edge, that I don't need to hold on to that. I don't need to be in it for today. Like, normally I would get in a car literally by myself, and I would drive for 200 miles, and that was my eating, right? Just run away, don't talk to anybody, don't bother me. And so I'm up this morning going, we've got really amazing phone calls to make today, and we've got people who are excited to learn more. So anyway, one of the questions is, how can you see yourself beyond this feeling right now? So I've already done this morning. So I just told you I can get past the shame and go, yes, it was tough, but the team didn't quit. They're still here. Right? What beliefs are fueling the shame, and why are they truly mine? So for you, when there was a moment of shame, like, what was the belief about? The
belief is that the self-sabotage is, my brain will say, oh, the tech's not working, you can't do this, you won't be, and we just go right down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
Of negativity. And I would carry that for days, and now I don't, because of this process and my own learning before that, but this process works.
All right, let's do the chair of joy, everybody. So I love for you. I know you're like, maybe you're driving, maybe, yeah, maybe you're driving, maybe, there we are. Maybe you're driving, maybe you're with family, maybe you're not, and hopefully you can just grab a chair of joy. So during the week, we said to everybody, if you don't already know, just to make sure you have your own chair of joy, that you're anchored in the place that you love. Yours again is in Laguna Beach.
Yes.
What color is your chair?
Like ocean blue.
Yeah. So by the way, you look really good in that chair of joy today.
Thank you.
And so my chair of joy is always in a kayak somewhere. And I always love the Wisconsin River, Wolf River specifically. So find your chair of joy and sit in it. If you don't mind closing your eyes for 60 seconds, that would be great.
Don't do that if you're driving.
So number one, sit on a wooden chest in an old attic, dust swirling around in the light. So wherever your chair of joy is, just see if you can imagine it feeling like that, because we're moving the process of shame through our bodies. So on a wooden chest in an old attic, dust swirling in the light. So see if you can just see yourself in that. Everybody has a grandma's attic somewhere or seen one on a TV, on a movie. Step two, take a deep breath in, inhale the still air and hold it for 5. And then it's dusty air, right? It's just kind of stifling up there. And then exhale that stifling air if you can, and let the weight of self-judgment go. Somebody out there is judging you for something, maybe your kids, your husband, your family, your children, your wife, your significant other. So one more deep breath in. This time, just bring in the energy of, it is what it is, and I'm going to get through this moment, and I'm going to come out the other side, and I'm going to survive another day. And exhale that. And then the think part. Picture yourself gently uncovering something forgotten, but still valuable. So kind of see yourself rummaging through a chest in the attic. What's inside of the chest of the trunk that feels like it's a picture of someone or something, maybe an old memory or tchotchke that you love, and just see if you can hold that and find value in that as well. And then I want you to feel having your fingers run over that item along the surface and connect with its warmth, and kind of start this feeling in your toes and move it up to your knees. And as this emotion is moving up through your body, you kind of wiggle your shoulders back and forth and feel this warmth going through your body, knowing that you did nothing wrong and it is what it is. And there's still so many parts of us, me included, but Dr. Brian included, that are valuable and important. That was a big meeting or check-in for me today. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to add? We have 1 minute.
You don't have to hold on.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important part of JOYELY and JQ Edge is they're not, emotions are not
right or wrong or good or bad.
That's it. So
the whole way the same. So we get to move on.
Yeah, we get to move on, and that's what's crucial. And hold on to that. And with that, we'll say have a fabulous, joyful weekend. And we will see you Monday morning at 7:45 a.m. Pacific time.